Hey, what's going on? It's Dr. Mike T. Nelson, and welcome back to the Flex Diet Podcast. And today, special announcement that as of today, Monday, June 5th, 2023, until June 12th, 2023, the Flex Diet certification is open for enrollment. Right now, we only open it twice per year, and this is one of those times. So if you're interested in learning all of the details, go to flexdiet.com, FLEXDIET.com. If you are finding yourself listening to this podcast outside of that time, you can still go to flexdiet.com and you'll be able to get on the waiting list for the next time that it opens. And today I wanted to address probably the number one question I get about the Flex Diet certification. And it's a basic question, which is, why the heck should I enroll in the Flex Diet certification? I could give you a laundry list of cool testimonials we've gotten from people so far to date out of the hundreds of people that have been enrolled and actually have graduated. I've only issued 2 refunds ever, which is great. And we have a 30-day money-back guarantee. So if you don't like it, you can literally get your money back. But like I said, we've only had that happen twice. But hey, if it's you and it's not a fit, no worries. I definitely don't have any problem honoring that. But the number one reason is, in my biased opinion, because I created the Flex Diet Cert, is you need some type of system for nutrition and recovery coaching. Now, again, the Flex Diet Cert does include everything from macronutrients, proteins, fats, carbohydrates, some movement stuff such as NEAT, non-exercise activity thermogenesis, or walking. We do have a module on exercise and sleep, but most of it is geared towards nutrition. Like I said, we cover all 3 macronutrients in details, micronutrients, and much more. But you can probably get okay information on the internet and from other sources on that. But the trick is how to put all of that together and how do you know what to do when? And that's why I believe having a system in order to do that is going to be the most effective. In all honesty, the main reason I designed the certification was I wish I had something like this when I was learning nutrition and recovery aspects. Yeah, I was pretty good at reading PubMed and I had taken a lot of classes, but it would have saved me, oh man, probably hundreds of hours, tons of headaches, actually lost clients early on. In hindsight, I know I could have done a much better job if I would have just bought somebody's system and followed it. Which I know sounds like way too overly simplistic. Eventually, after I did the Flex Diet Cert, I did go back and do some other systems, but I was so nervous about copying somebody else's system that when I got to the point that I was going to do the Flex Diet Cert, I didn't actually take anyone else's certification because I was afraid of unconsciously copying some of the stuff that they had done. So it wasn't until after I published it that I went back and did some other certifications. Number one thing I would say is that you're actually buying the system of how all the pieces fit together. So in the Flex Diet Cert, you'll learn the concepts of metabolic flexibility and how that works with flexible dieting. Because if you're trying to take an ultra strict approach with yourself or your clients, it would probably not work so well. There are a handful of people who can do that, but definitely not going to be the main populace. If you look at how many people can lose weight and keep the weight off, the rates are single digits at best. So generally not very good. And I think one of the reasons for that is lack of accountability and lack of having a good system to use and implement. In my biased opinion, that system has to be flexible from both what the client is actually expected to do, so they have options, and also making your physiology more flexible. So a lot of systems out there, which I like the concept of flexible dieting, But I wanted to add the metabolic flexibility component to it because I think you need to prepare clients on the physiologic level as well as giving them different options. So if they end up at a social and they're face down in a birthday cake, their system is literally more metabolically flexible, so it can handle an influx of carbohydrates better. And they also understand and know better options that they can do. So you're actually preparing them both with a solid plan on the psychology side also, and also making them more metabolically flexible to handle other insults and other things, social events, Chinese buffets, whatever, periods of fasting, even if you're at the airport and decide not to eat or you don't have access to food. You're literally preparing your body to be better able to handle that ahead of time instead of being stuck in certain situations. So all of that is included in the system of the Flex Diet certification. I was talking on a previous podcast a little while ago with Dr. Jed Tatum, and we both were not really laughing, but we both realized that if we would have just gotten it beaten through our thick skulls, or at least me for sure, that it'd be worth buying somebody's system, learning that, getting as much as you possibly can out of that system. Again, something with a proven track record, you would be way ahead. And if you want to iterate on that, or you want to try to make little changes and customize it once you're really good at executing it, great, go ahead. I have people who send me all sorts of ideas for the Flex Diet Cert. And there's little tweaks I think that definitely can make it better. But having somebody's system that you can purchase and implement now, I think is going to save people a long time. So as you probably already know, I started looking at the concept of metabolic flexibility. I realized the other day it was actually 15 years ago. I didn't realize I had graduated with my PhD from the University of Minnesota 9 years ago. It doesn't seem like it was that long ago. It took me about 7 years to get my PhD full time. So technically, I guess that's 16 years ago, I started looking at metabolic flexibility. Those were the two projects that were assigned to me on day one of showing up at the lab, was metabolic flexibility and the concepts of heart rate variability. And so over the time, I've done testing in the lab on that. I've ran, oh God, probably hundreds of the testing with a metabolic cart. So a fancy machine that looks at how much air goes in and out, looking at oxygen and CO2. I'm a big geek, so I actually bought my own metabolic cart. So I have one here, which is pretty crazy. And then I've tested out the concepts, obviously on myself, my wife, various friends. A good buddy of mine actually tested out on his dog. So shout out to Adam Glass on the MedFlex for Bulldogs. I don't know if his blogger site is still up, but he wrote a whole article about it. Oh man, many years ago. Some of the early clients now, I just got an email from one of them a couple months ago. He's literally been doing it now for 8 years and still going great. I talked to Adam a little while ago. We were down there visiting with him on our way down to Texas to kiteboard and hang out. And he still uses the concepts of metabolic flexibility to this day. And he cycled his weight on purpose as high up as 240 and as low as below 200, just by using the concepts of metabolic flexibility. So along that time, I've done consults and worked with general population clients to elite military special operators. I've given a talk to DARPA. So DARPA is a Defense Advanced Research Projects Agency, the branch of the military, although they're an independent organization that has come up with GPS, cell phones, the early ARPANET, which is now the internet. Those were all originally DARPA projects. And so I gave a talk to them, man, going on 9 years ago now, about the use of the concepts of metabolic flexibility for training military operators. So the good part is it's been well tested, and I've done it on my one-on-one clients over the years, which I've had a whole bunch. And yeah, of course, nothing worked out exactly as planned initially, but we got all the kinks worked out. Early on, I did some e-classes with the large groups of people and ran them through it, which went well. So it's definitely been backed up by research. You'll find lots of research references in it. It's been backed up by just real world experience and working on it. So it wasn't something I just came up with because, oh, hey, this concept sounds pretty sexy. Let me throw together a certification on it. Something that's been well tested for over a decade and a half now. And the good part about buying a system is it'll literally save you a whole bunch of time. That isn't to say the certification is easy. It is a little bit on the technical side, but I do take the time to explain all the technical words. So it is in English you can understand. The beauty is it's 100% online, so you can go back and review certain areas if you don't quite grasp the concept the first time. And if you want to do a deep dive into different areas, we've got a whole bunch of experts from Dr. Stu Phillips talking about protein metabolism, Dr. Jose Antonio talking about protein overfeeding, Dr. Dan Party, Dr. Stephen Guillenet about the neuroregulation of appetite, and many other experts there. Dr. Eric Helms himself talking about flexible dieting. So if you want in-depth from the researchers, we've got an interview with almost a dozen of them now that you can get access to also. And so far, those interviews haven't really been released anywhere else. So in the last part, you can literally get my help via email included when you enroll in the Flex Diet certification. Now, again, I don't know how much longer I'll be able to do that. I've been trying to set it up where it's only open twice a year, so I can clear my schedule and make sure I have enough time to answer everyone's question. But I want to do that as long as I can. But again, logistics, don't know how much longer I'll be able to do that. Because I do enjoy the teaching aspect of it, and I'll do whatever I can to get people to complete the certification, ask any questions if they want to figure out after they've gone through a few of the modules. They've got questions about fasting or protein or micronutrition, or they've got a client that they just feel stuck. They don't know what to do with them. Just send me an email and I'll literally get back to you normally in 48 hours if I'm not traveling, and I'll do whatever I can to help you out because I do want you to actually learn the material. I do want you to actually go through the certification because that makes me feel warm and fuzzy that you can go out and help a lot more people. It is crazy that some people who do certifications and high-end products, one of the things they secretly hope is that nobody actually does it because then it's a lot less work for them, which I don't understand that concept whatsoever. The Flex Diet Cert is now open as of Monday, June 5th through Monday night at midnight, June 12th, 2023. Go to flexdiet.com for all the information. We've got some bonus items there. If you have any questions, I'm sure you can find a way to contact me on Instagram or my email, and I will do whatever I can to get back to you. So thank you so much. Greatly appreciate it. And I hope to see you in the Flex Diet certification. Thank you so much. See you later.